The city was loud and busy. Cars honked, people hurried, and shops buzzed with activity. Among all this noise, Sarah, the daughter of a millionaire, was walking alone near a busy road. She wore a simple dress but walked with confidence, as if the whole city belonged to her. Sarah loved to walk by herself, feeling free in the world around her. But today was different. As Sarah crossed the street, the sound of a fast car grew louder behind her. Suddenly, a speeding car lost control. The driver had lost focus and the car swerved dangerously close to Sarah. Her heart raced as she realized she was in danger, but before she could move, a boy suddenly jumped in front of her. His name was Ali. Ali was a poor boy who lived nearby. He was just about 15 years old and worked hard every day to help his family. Ali had been walking to the market when he saw the car heading straight for Sarah. Without thinking, he ran toward her and grabbed her arm. "Get away from the road," Ali shouted, pulling her back. Sarah stumbled but stayed safe. The car sped past them, missing Sarah by inches. Ali did not stop there. He pushed Sarah even further away from the dangerous street. But in doing so, the car scraped Ali's arm as it passed. Ali fell to the ground, hurt and bleeding. People nearby gasped and rushed forward. "Are you okay?" they asked Ali. Ali nodded weakly but did not cry. He looked at Sarah, who was still shocked. She was safe thanks to this brave boy. People began to gather around, amazed at Ali's courage. Some took out their phones to call for help, while others tried to comfort Ali. Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she saw Ali on the ground. "Thank you," she whispered. "You saved my life." The ambulance arrived quickly and took Ali to the hospital. Sarah went with him, holding his hand tightly. Her heart was full of worry and gratitude. For the first time, Sarah saw the world beyond her rich home. A world where people like Ali fought hard every day to survive. At the hospital, doctors treated Ali's scraped arm and bruises. Sarah stayed by his side, talking gently to calm him. She learned that Ali lived with his parents and 3 younger siblings in a small old house nearby. They struggled to make ends meet, and Ali worked in the market to help support his family. Sarah's family heard about what happened. Her parents invited Ali and his family to their mansion. They wanted to thank him and reward his bravery. But Ali was humble and shy. He did not want any gifts or money. He only wanted to see Sarah safe. The news spread quickly in the city. Everyone talked about the poor boy who saved the millionaire's daughter. People admired Ali's courage and kindness. But some also wondered, why would a rich girl like Sarah trust a poor boy? Would her family accept him? Sarah's mother watched her daughter closely. She saw how Sarah's eyes lit up when she talked about Ali. But she also worried. The rich and poor lived in different worlds. Could they ever come together? As Sarah rested, that night she thought about Ali. She remembered his bravery, his quiet strength, and the kindness in his eyes. Sarah decided she wanted to know more about this boy who risked his life for her. Meanwhile, Ali lay in the hospital bed, thinking about what had happened. He never expected to be a hero. All he wanted was to protect someone in danger. Yet now, everything was changing. People were looking at him differently. Some smiled, others stared. Ali felt nervous but also proud. The city seemed bigger now, full of new possibilities. But Ali knew life would not be easy. He had a family to care for and dreams that seemed far away. Still, saving Sarah had given him a new hope. As the night grew quiet, Sarah and Ali's worlds began to move closer. A simple act of bravery was about to change both their lives forever. The next morning, the city was waking up as usual. But in the big mansion, Sarah's parents were already talking about the boy who saved their daughter. "Ali is a brave boy," Sarah's father said seriously. "We must invite him and his family here. We owe him a lot." Sarah's mother nodded but looked worried. "We don't know much about him or his family. What if they don't want our help?" Sarah listened quietly from the side. She had made up her mind. She wanted to meet Ali again. She wanted to thank him properly. Meanwhile, Ali was still in the hospital. His arm was bandaged, but his spirit was strong. News reporters had called the hospital, and some even wanted to interview him. Ali's parents were nervous but proud. "We must meet Sarah," Ali said to his mother one day. "She saved me with her kindness. I want to thank her." His mother smiled but warned, "Remember, Ali, they live in a different world. Be careful." A few days later, Sarah's family arranged a small meeting with Ali and his parents at their mansion. The house was huge, with shiny floors and tall windows. Ali felt nervous stepping inside. Sarah was waiting in the living room. When she saw Ali, she smiled warmly. "Thank you again for saving me," she said softly. Ali looked down shyly. "I just did what anyone would do," he replied. Sarah's mother watched them carefully. She saw how Sarah's eyes shone when she looked at Ali. It was a mix of gratitude and something deeper, curiosity, maybe even friendship. After the meeting, Sarah's father spoke to Ali's parents. "We want to help your family. Maybe give Ali a chance to study better," he said kindly. Ali's father looked surprised. "That is very kind of you, sir. But Ali is a good boy. He wants to work and support us." Sarah's mother added, "We can offer both, education and support. Your son is special." Ali was quiet but felt hope growing inside him. Days passed, and Sarah and Ali began to meet more often. They talked about simple things, school, dreams, and the city they both lived in. Sarah learned that Ali wanted to become a doctor. He wanted to help people like a hero. Sarah shared her dream too, to make the world a kinder place. The two became friends despite their very different lives. But not everyone was happy. Some people in Sarah's social circle whispered, "Why does Sarah spend time with a poor boy?" they asked. "Is this right?" Sarah heard the gossip but ignored it. She believed in Ali's heart, not his clothes or background. One day, Sarah's best friend warned her, "You should be careful. Your family might not agree if this goes too far." Sarah smiled and said, "Ali saved my life. That means more than anything else." Meanwhile, Ali faced his own challenges. Some kids at school laughed at him because he came from a poor family. But Ali stood tall. He remembered the moment when he saved Sarah and found strength in that. One afternoon, while walking home, Ali found an envelope in his pocket. It was a letter from Sarah's father. It said, "Ali, we want to help you start a new life. Please come to the mansion tomorrow." Ali's heart beat fast. Was this the chance he had been waiting for? Or was it too good to be true? He looked at his mother and siblings, wondering what the future held. The next morning, Ali woke up early. The letter from Sarah's father was still in his hand. His heart was full of hope, but also filled with fear. He looked around their small house. His mother was cooking breakfast, his little sister was playing, and his father was fixing a broken chair. Life was hard, but it was their life. Ali wondered, can I really go to that big house? Will they accept me? Or will they see me only as a poor boy? His mother noticed his worried face. Ali, you are brave. You saved Sarah's life. This is your chance. Don't be afraid. Ali nodded, but inside the questions kept coming. At the mansion, Sarah was also getting ready. She was excited and nervous at the same time. She hoped Ali would say yes to her father's offer. When Ali arrived at the mansion, he was amazed again by the size and beauty. The walls were filled with paintings, the floors shone like mirrors, and the garden was full of colorful flowers. Sarah's father greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome, Ali. We are happy to see you." Ali felt a little more comfortable. Sarah came running to him. "I'm so glad you came. Let me show you around." As they walked through the rooms, Ali's eyes grew wide with wonder. But soon, the reality of the different worlds they came from became clear. Sarah's mother watched from a distance, still unsure. Later, Ali met with a tutor who would help him with his studies. The tutor was kind, but reminded Ali that this would be hard work. Ali felt pressure. He wanted to do well for Sarah, for her family, and for himself. But back at school, Ali faced a new challenge. Some rich kids heard about the invitation from Sarah's family. They laughed and whispered behind his back. "Why is he pretending to be one of us?" one boy sneered. Ali tried to ignore the whispers, but they hurt. At home, Ali told his parents everything. They told him to be strong, to believe in himself. Meanwhile, Sarah faced pressure too. Her friends at school were not happy she spent so much time with Ali. "Why do you waste your time with him?" they asked. Sarah smiled and said, "Because he is kind and brave. That is what matters." Her father noticed the tension. One evening he sat with Sarah and said, "Sometimes when we cross between two worlds, it is not easy. But courage and kindness can change hearts." Sarah held her father's hand. "I want to help Ali. He deserves a better life." The next day, Sarah and Ali met in the garden. Ali looked worried. "I don't know if I can do this," he said softly. Sarah took his hand. "You already did something amazing. Now let's face everything together." But the road ahead was not simple. Ali had to prove himself every day. Not just to Sarah's family, but to himself. He wanted to make his wish come true. But would the world accept him? Ali started going to school near Sarah's home. It was a big school with many students, many of whom came from rich families like Sarah's. From the first day, Ali noticed people looking at him differently. Some stared with curiosity, others with judgment. At recess, some boys whispered, "Why is that poor boy here? Does he think he belongs?" Ali tried to ignore them. He focused on his studies, wanting to prove he was more than his clothes or background. One day, a group of boys approached him near the playground. Their leader, Jake, was known for being mean. "What are you doing here, Ali? This isn't your place," Jake sneered. Ali felt fear but stood his ground. "I'm here to learn, just like you," the boys laughed. "You don't belong here." Sarah saw what was happening from a distance. She felt angry and sad. She ran over and said loudly, "Leave him alone. Ali saved my life. He deserves respect." Jake looked at her and smirked. "And who are you to defend him?" Sarah held her head high. "I am his friend." The boys walked away, but the tension didn't end there. Ali felt the weight of judgment every day. Sometimes he wanted to give up, but Sarah and her family continued to support him. They believed in his courage and heart. At home, Ali studied harder. His tutor helped him with lessons he had missed before. Slowly, Ali began to understand things he never knew. One evening, Ali's mother hugged him tightly. "You are doing so well, Beta, son. We are proud of you." Ali smiled, but his mind was still full of questions. Will they ever see me as more than a poor boy? Sarah wanted to help more. She asked her father, "Can we do something to make Ali's life easier?" Her father nodded. "Yes, we will help him, but Ali must want to work hard." Sarah and Ali made a secret plan to show the school who Ali really was, brave, smart, and kind. Weeks passed, and Ali worked harder than ever. He wanted to prove to everyone that he was not just a poor boy, but someone worthy of respect. Sarah helped him study every day. She made sure Ali understood the lessons and practiced for the big test coming soon. The school announced a special competition, a test that would decide which students could join the advanced class. It was a chance for Ali to show his true potential. On the day of the test, Ali felt nervous but also hopeful. Sarah gave him a small smile before he went inside the classroom. The test was difficult, but Ali stayed calm. He remembered all the hours he had spent studying and tried his best. Outside, some students whispered, "He won't pass. He is just a poor boy." But Ali did not listen. He focused only on the questions. When the results were announced, everyone was surprised. Ali had passed, with one of the highest scores in the class. Sarah cheered loudly, proud of her friend. Even some of the students who had doubted Ali began to respect him. Ali's success was not just about the test. It was about showing what courage and hard work could do. Sarah's family celebrated with Ali's family. It was a moment of hope and new beginnings. But not everyone was happy. Jake and his friends felt jealous. They started planning to make things difficult for Ali. Ali knew the journey was not over. He promised Sarah, "No matter what happens, I will keep working hard." Sarah smiled, "And I will always stand by your side." Ali was now respected by many students, and the teachers had started noticing his talent too. But Jake, the jealous rich boy, couldn't accept it. "How can a poor boy like him become the top student?" Jake hissed to his friends. "We need to teach him a lesson." That night, Jake came up with a cruel plan. The next morning, when Ali arrived at school, everyone was staring at him. He didn't know why until he saw it. Someone had written on the school walls with paint, "Ali cheated to pass." Ali stood frozen. His heart dropped. Students pointed and whispered. Some even laughed. Jake smirked from the corner, watching. "Ali, break inside." The principal called Ali into the office. "Ali," he said seriously, "we heard rumors that you cheated. Do you have anything to say?" Ali's hands were shaking. "Sir, I didn't cheat. I studied hard. I swear," Sarah barged in. "Ali is innocent. I studied with him every day. He never cheated." But the damage was done. Until the truth was known, Ali would be suspended. Sarah was furious. "They're lying, and I'll prove it." She knew who did it. Jake had been acting strange. Sarah decided to act fast. That evening, Sarah checked the security cameras with the help of her father's connections. And there it was, clear footage of Jake and his friends painting lies on the school walls. Sarah rushed back to the principal. The next morning, a new message was written on the board for all students to see. "Ali is innocent. The real liars have been caught." Jake and his friends were suspended for 2 weeks. Their parents were called to school. Everyone apologized to Ali, but Ali didn't smile. He stood in front of his classmates and said, "Even when the world doubts you, never give up. The truth always comes out." His voice was steady, but his eyes were full of pain. Sarah placed a hand on his shoulder. "You didn't deserve that," she said softly. Ali replied, "It's okay. I'm stronger now." A week passed after the truth about Jake came out. Ali had returned to school, and the students now looked at him with respect. Not pity, but Ali stayed quiet. He still studied hard, still helped the teachers, and still sat alone during lunch. Something inside him had changed. He had learned the world was not always fair, but he also knew he couldn't give up. Then one day, something unexpected happened. The school principal announced on the speaker, "Students, we have a special visitor today. Mr. Zayan Malik, the famous businessman and father of Sarah, is here to speak with us." Everyone rushed to the school auditorium. Cameras flashed. Reporters stood near the entrance. Ali stood in the back, unsure why the man was here again. Mr. Zayan walked up to the stage. He looked at the students and smiled. "A few weeks ago," he began, "my daughter's life was saved by a boy most. If you ignored, that boy risked his life with no promise of reward." The hall was silent. Mr. Zayan turned and pointed. "That boy is Ali." Gasps filled the room. All eyes turned to Ali. He froze. Mr. Zayan waved him forward. Ali walked up, nervous, unsure what was happening. Zayan knelt down in front of Ali and said on the microphone, "Ali, you saved my daughter. You showed courage, honesty, and heart. Today, I want to give you one wish. Anything you ask for, I will make it happen." Everyone held their breath. A car? A big house? $1 million? Ali looked down. Then he raised his eyes slowly and said, "Sir, I don't want money. I don't want a car or a house. I just want one thing." Zayan nodded. "Say it, son." Ali took a deep breath. "Please open a free school in my neighborhood. There are so many kids like me who want to learn, but have nothing." The room went completely quiet. Some teachers wiped their eyes. Sarah gasped. Even Zayan's lips trembled. "You could have asked for anything, and you asked for others," Zayan said, voice breaking. Then he stood up, took the microphone again, and declared, "From this day I will build a school in Ali's neighborhood and name it after him. The Ali Foundation School, free for all children." The crowd stood and clapped. Tears rolled down faces. Sarah hugged Ali tightly. Ali smiled for the first time in a long while. He had nothing, but today he gave everything, and in return, he earned respect, love, and a legacy that would never fade.